Hey ho, my name is Joe. It is October 31st, 2019, and I love Halloween. Hello, my name is Joanna. I refer to myself here as Joe, right on the BookTube community. If you are new here, that is who I am. I'm a coffee-loving book addict who is also crazy about Halloween. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all the books that I've read in the month of October. I really wanted to get this video uploaded today, so let's see how we do. I was having issues with Goodreads earlier, so let's see if we're still having issues. That's how I keep track of my books right now, because unfortunately the bullet journal that I had that I was working on with everything fell apart. So I'm in the process of currently saving up some money to get myself a new bullet journal so we can go ahead and start all over again. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay. I was having issues with Goodreads earlier. If you were having issues with Goodreads earlier, go ahead and leave a comment down below because I would really like to know, because it was kind of driving me nuts. Because I wanted to... Oh, good. It's back up. Oh, you guys can't see that, but it's back up. Okay. So I actually need to update my... I need to update it, but Goodreads is not working, guys. This is driving me nuts. Okay, so I'm going to try to remember the books that I read, because that's how it is. I have a horrible memory. So let's go ahead and start with the first book that I read in the month of October. So the first book that I read in the month of October is Hocus Pocus and an all-new sequel. Now, where to begin with this? So I loved the first part of it. I felt like I was sitting down, when I was reading it, I felt like I was watching the movie. I just had the movie in my whole entire head. And, when Sarah sang her song, is it her name Sarah? Yeah, I think it's Sarah. When Sarah sang her song, the Come Little Children song, I actually even changed my ringtone. But that's my ringtone right now, is that song, because I just love it so much. But the second half of this was 200 pages of the sequel. Now, I actually kind of liked the story. The whole idea where, it's their daughter, it's Max's and Allison's daughter. I kind of liked it. I really liked Poppy, and I really liked the whole idea of the ancestry, and we got to meet Elizabeth Sanderson, and I actually really enjoyed the story, but it's definitely not something that... I don't know how to explain it. I would love to see an actual movie made out of this sequel. I thought it was really good, but it's not something that, I would want to watch religiously. I mean, Hocus Pocus will always have a special place in my heart, but the sequel is definitely something that I would love to see portrayed into a movie. And something that, to see how much of this they can get in there. And, I mean, it's a really short half of it. I mean, let me see if I can even... Anybody who's read this knows it's pretty short for part 2. And it literally, that's all part 2. So, if your first half of your book is pretty much the movie itself. Somebody literally was sitting down watching the movie and she wrote it out. That's exactly what she did. There's a couple pieces that are missing from the movie, but, you kind of got the general idea. The second part of it was entertaining. I will give it that. It was very entertaining, but it's not something that I would want to continue to read. I would not want to read every year. But it was very entertaining, and I will probably end up passing this book along to somebody else. But otherwise than that, I want to say I maybe gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I don't exactly remember. Because Goodreads is down, guys, I'm going to put a description of all the books that I have down below and the ratings that I gave them as well. also send you over to Goodreads when finally the internet gets back up. So I want to say I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I read in the month of October was Night. So I'm not going to say the author's name because I butchered the name before, but however, the person that wrote Night, he was a part of the Holocaust. He literally just wrote down everything that he had to deal with throughout the Holocaust, about his father, about the things that they put them through, and he was a Jew in the Holocaust, and that's basically what this book is about. I feel like I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. However, this doesn't even deserve a rating because it's just that mind-blowing, and it's just to see the level of torture and everything that the Jews had to go through with the Holocaust. Like, when it comes to the Holocaust, I will read anything and everything about it. You guys should already know that. If you don't, go back and watch some videos because I think I talked about it at some point. However, more or less, it's the things that just went on through the Holocaust. This is just another glimpse of little things that went on in the Holocaust, and the way he tells his story. He's an 11-year-old boy who got captured by the Nazis, and him and his father are basically trying to survive in these concentration camps. He got separated from his mother, he got separated from his sister, and all the women and children, and it was just, they got put to work, and it's just, the amount of things that this poor little boy went through are just mind-blowing. You know, and this is only even, I mean, in 117 pages, you see how much he went through in just 117 pages. And it's just incredible. If you are a fan of the Holocaust, anything about the Holocaust, I would definitely recommend this. But be prepared. There is a lot of violence and just the things that this poor little boy saw at just such a young age. It was just, oh, I could not believe this. And I have to say, this has actually gotten up there with my top reads. So I'm actually, at the end of the year, I will be having a video where my top reads of 2019. So this is, I can tell you right now, this is going to be in that list. So definitely you guys will be seeing me talk about this again. Wow. Alright, moving on. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where is Girls Guide to Witchcraft? So the next book that I read in the month of October is Girls Guide to Witchcraft by Mindy Kalasky. I feel like I'm totally saying that name wrong, but I'm going with it. So if you guys are not familiar with this story, you follow a girl named Jane who ends up moving into a friend's cottage, and she finds all these spell books and everything down in the basement, and she literally reads a passage from one of these books and becomes a witch. Not really sure if I like that idea, but anyway, and then, you know, other things happen, and, you know, her grandmother's involved, and, you know, it's the whole thing plays out. She's got this imaginary boyfriend, and there's a lot that goes on in here. However, I want to say that I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, or was it 2 out of 5 stars? I don't remember. Oh, it was a touch and go with me. It took me a really long time to finish just because I couldn't really get into it, and I ended up finishing it just so I could say that I read it. And it was definitely not something I was into, something that I liked. It just wasn't for me. I mean, it might be for you if you like, you know, like the whole idea of like witches and, you know, things like that, but this wasn't really for me, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping I was going to enjoy it, so it was kind of a disappointment. So I think my final thought on this would be 2 out of 5 stars. It was entertaining, but yet it was not something that I would ever want to read again. And so the last book that I read the month of October, which I actually just finished about 10 minutes ago, In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. First off, I was talking to the lovely Marissa Curtis. I asked her if she read this. She said she hasn't, but she's kind of debating if she wanted to read it or not. Well, to answer your question, if you kind of like the whodunit type of thing, and if you kind of are like into like predictability, this is for you. Honestly. Like, okay. I don't want to give any spoilers. However, there is a particular truth that gets told by Miss Nora or Lee, whatever the hell you want to call her. She refers to herself at like 3 different names. So it's just like you like 2 or 3 different names. So we have Lee or Nora or whatever you want to call her confesses about something that happened 10 years ago with one of our main characters who gets mentioned a lot, James. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys read the book. You know what I'm talking about. The whole thing that she did with her mother 10 years prior to this hen party that went on, or the bachelorette party that went on. And honestly, that kind of made me mad. So I don't want to give any spoilers. However, I will say this. Part of my channel is me fighting with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and what she did really made me mad, and I thought to myself, what kind of monster is she? So you're also probably thinking, what other kind of monster would have to be to really make me mad like that? I can't tell you unless I give away some of the story. Now, I don't know what rating I want to give this book. I went into this with very, 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 very high expectations. And the reason I went into it with very high expectations is because this is my sister-in-law, Katie's, favorite book. This is one of her favorite Ruth Ware books, and I hate how it ended. So, right now, I am sitting on 2.5 to 3 stars. 3 stars because it was very entertaining. It did keep me a little bit on the edge of my seat, but then it's not getting the 4-star with me because it fizzled. It literally fizzled out in the end, and once everything was all said and done, it was so predictable. This is why I never really got into thrillers, is because every single thriller that I have read, besides Behind Closed Doors and anything by B.A. Paris and Gone Girl, they were all predictable. So that's probably why I've never picked up a Ruth Ware book. I don't exactly know. But otherwise not, this was very predictable, and I might even drop my rating honestly down to 2 stars. Like 2 out of 5 stars, because it was just not there for me. I'm sorry, Katie, but it just was not there for me. And if you love a good thriller, if you like the kind of like, you know, the whodunit and why they did it type of thriller, then this one would be for you. But to be honest with you, I felt like it fizzled out in the end, and it was just not my cup of tea. And it's... I wanted to like this book so freaking much. And now that I really think about it, yeah, my final rating is going to be 2 out of 5 stars. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Katie. But hopefully we can definitely share some more books in the future. I've actually read only 4 books this month, but for me that is actually really good considering the thick books that I read. I read 2 books that were over 400 pages. I read 1 book that was 117 pages, and I read a book that was over 300 pages. Also, I did finish The Throne of Glass as well. So, let's talk about The Throne of Glass a little bit. So I'm actually not going to pull it up on my shelf because it is up there in the corner. But, so the last book that I finished in the month of October was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I actually do own a physical copy of this. However, it is up there in that corner. So I will post a picture of it right here. So, when it comes to Throne of Glass, I listened to it on audio, and I have to say I actually enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. I want to say I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I personally loved Selena, and I want to say Dorian is actually one of my favorite characters. I thought, you know, he was kind of like the rebel bad boy, but yet, you know, he had to be proper, and, you know, he kind of reminded me of me in a way, because, you know, I'm never really appropriate all the time. I am appropriate when I have to be, but a lot of the time I'm inappropriate and I just say the wrong things at the wrong time. And I kind of felt like that's the way like Dorian was. He always said the wrong thing at the wrong time or the right thing at the right time. Or there was never really an in the middle there at all. And will I continue on with the series? I don't know. I really did enjoy The Throne of Glass. I enjoyed the book. But I don't know if I want to continue on with the series. It just... I probably will continue on with the series just to say that I have read the Throne of Glass series. Because it is something my husband has read and he's wanted to talk about it with me. So I definitely think I'm going to end up finishing it. It might take me a while, but we'll definitely get there. We'll get there. So that is all the books that I read in the month of October. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I am random, I am spunky, and, you know, all that fun stuff. So thank you so much if you made it this far, because I know my personality is probably a little lot to deal with. So if you haven't done so already, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you guys can see more of my random videos that I post. I'm almost done my Goodreads reading challenge, and if you guys are already here, already a subscriber, thank you so much, guys. I look forward to making more content for you in the future. You have so much more coming, and you guys are going to love everything. I've literally got a long list of everything I want to do. Anywho, I'm going to end this video because I need to get it edited and uploaded before Halloween is over. Woo! So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.